Good morning once again. So, in the second lecture, I am starting where I left yesterday. Yesterday, we were discussing about the abiotic component, and in the abiotic component, we have already discussed the light, temperature, and the precipitation. And at last, we were discussing about the precipitation or the water resource. And as you all know, that the water is very essential entity for the living individual, and 2/3 of this planet comprises water, and out of the total amount of water available, 97% of water is the salty water, or which is present in the oceans. Only 3% fresh water is available in this planet, and out of this 3%, the 97%, or sorry, the 75% of the total fresh water, 75% of the fresh water is locked up as ice in the poles. This is very dramatic situation, that the 75% water is locked in poles, that is northern pole or in the southern pole, in form of ice, and only 25% of water is available in form of fresh one. And out of the total water, 1% of water is available as fresh liquid water in rivers, ponds, lakes, etc., from where we use the fresh water. Only about 0.003% of Earth's total volume of water is available to us as fresh water in lake, soil moisture, exploitable groundwater, which we maximum utilize, the atmospheric water vapor, and the streams. There are two sources of fresh water, namely the surface water and the groundwater. There are two sources of fresh water. The first one is present over the surface in form of river, lake, ponds, etc. And the second water is the below ground water, that we call the groundwater, and we extract or we use that water through the hand pump, through the tube wells, etc. So there are two types. The plant utilize, they don't use the surface water, they only use the groundwater. So first of all, let's understand how the different types of water are available in this Earth surface. We generally classify water into 5 categories, which is available for the plants. The first one is the groundwater. As I already told you, that the only source of water is the rainfall. Whenever water comes in this earth surface through the rain, water falls down over the earth surface, then what happens? The water, it moves downward as per the topography where it gets the slope. The water vents or water goes through that particular slope and it runs away, and this type of water, the water which runs away over the slope, is called the run of water. And this type of water is completely useless for the plant, and this water ultimately meets with that of the water bodies, to rivers, then to up to the oceans. The second type of water, when water falls on the earth, the first gone through the slope, the second one, the water enters inside the soil surface. Water percolates downward in the soil through the roots of the plant. So the plants are very much useful. They are very beneficial for the percolation of the water. The water percolates through the roots inside the soil and goes downward in the soil. The second type of water is called the hygroscopic water. What is hygroscopic water? Hygroscopic water is that water which creates a thin film around the soil particles inside the soil. The soils, they are present in form, their structure is a very typical structure of the soil. The soil particles, they are present very near to each other, and the water goes down and it creates a film around the soil, and this water is called the hygroscopic water. The third type of water, which percolates downward and moves down, and it reaches very down in the soil crust, it is called the gravitational water or the groundwater. The water which moves inside the deep horizon of soil due to the gravitational force is called the gravitational water. It reaches very deep in the water, in the soil surface, and forms the water table. There is a continuous layer of water inside our earth, and that layer of that amount of water is called the it is known as the groundwater, and this is the water which we utilize through our hand pumps or the tube wells. Okay, so this is the third type of water, which is called the gravitational water. The fourth type of water, it is known as chemically combined water. Chemically combined water is that water which is associated with that of soil particles by the help of certain chemical bonds. Certain chemical bonds, they attaches the water molecule with that of soil particles, and this type of water is called the chemical water. This water is called the chemical water or chemically combined water, which attaches with that of the soil by the help of chemical bond. The fifth type of water is called the capillary water. Capillary water, what is capillary? Capillary means a small tube, a tiny tube with having very less diameter, and it shows the capillary action. Capillary action means where the water moves upward from the test tube. The test tube which is open from both ends, but the water don't goes downward, it moves towards upward due to its narrow dimension, due to its narrow diameter. So it is called the capillary action. So on the basis of capillary action, the water remains above the soil surface in between those specific test tubes or capillaries. So as far as the types of water is concerned, they are gravitational water present in deep soil horizon, the chemically combined water associated with that of soil water, hygroscopic water which forms a thin film over surface, the chemically combined water, and the surface or runoff water. All these type of waters, out of these 5 type of water, the 4 types of water means the runoff, the hygroscopic water, the chemically combined water, and the gravitational water. These 4 types of water are useless for the plant, and the only one type of water which is useful for the plant is called the capillary water, which is present in between the capillaries